Hello, I'm Carol Flavin. My layout, the Edge Hey Strines Railway, was largely built during lockdown. It had originally been expanded with its baseboards in the February, and I intended to do it over a period of time, goodness knows how long, with my grandchildren being involved. But of course it didn't happen because in March we were locked down. So I set to and had, personally, a very productive few months. I'm retired, so I wasn't needing to work, couldn't see the grandchildren. So I built a very large layout using my imagination, my artistic skills, my craft skills, and I had a great deal of fun doing it. But in order to keep my grandchildren in contact, I made a video every week for 52 weeks. So I made 52 videos. They were designed to let them know what I was doing, to ask for their opinion, and also just to keep in touch, because we'd always been close and we were missing them. As a result, Lawrence from the Model Railway Club in London interviewed me for the first virtual exhibition that the World of Railways did. And he said, "Oh, why don't you make videos for other people as well?" And I started to. There's a big learning curve. I only use an iPad and an iPhone, and I've subsequently got a GoPro, which I use for my camera train work. I had to learn how to light the layout, I had to learn how to light myself, I had to learn how to edit videos. And then I got asked for lots of articles. In fact, over that period, I've written 9 for 2 different model railway magazines. So I've been busy. And it's been fun. But all the way through, while I was building the layout, I was thinking of my family and how I could incorporate them in it. So this video, relatively short, allows you to see all the things that I did that reflect my family. And I hope you enjoy it. I originally made this waterfall diorama to take out to exhibitions, but when they got cancelled, I decided to use it as the centrepiece of my layout. So it's now right in the middle of a series of mountains. It has tunnels and track going through it, and at the base it has a lake, and there is a campsite and various other things like swimmers, people playing and so on. And it's designed to be a bit of fun. Articles about the waterfall diorama and also the mountain range have appeared in Railway Modeller. This is what the new extension to the layout looked like when I started out. And across the front there's a lift-up bridge. And I made what I actually considered to be quite a bit of fun on this, which was like a countryside park, really. And there's a lake and an island in the middle, and lots of people doing things round it that were actually members of my family. So they know that this is them having a day out all together. This is the lift-up bridge, lifted up. Lower Strines Hamlet is a favourite place of mine, and it's appeared in British Railway Modelling as an article. There's lots of little houses on it, a church, a thatched cottage, trains run past it. It was a relatively small area to start with, and I just built it up from there, adding layers and layers of interest. There is a house on it, which in fairness I'd probably like to live in, and so would my grandson. During lockdown, my husband and I built a summer house in the garden so that we could have visitors during that period of time when we could only see people outside. So of course, we had to add it to the layout. My daughter and her husband are wine merchants, and they have a wine merchant shop in some railway arches. So this is their shop. And this is a short shot of how it all started when I started to make it. And this is a line along the line of the arches. I've started experimenting with a camera train. I use a little GoPro that I bought second-hand, and I'm just running it along past the railway arches and past a factory area. The manufacturing area has buildings in it named after our family. I have a cycling mad grandson. In fact, he's a champion cycling mad grandson. So what I decided to do was put him, well, actually in several places, actually on the layout. My son is a climber, so he is also on the cliffs. The harbour is one of my favourite areas, and it is an area that I really enjoyed making. I used my paints and my paintbrushes to create the look of depth, and I created the surface by layering it up with structure gel and heavy structure gel to create movement, and I used the heavy structure gel around the edges to create little waves which I painted. The walls are textured wallpaper, which I also painted, and I did use some resin ones that I bought to create the slipway. It was quite a complex process making this harbour, and I have written an article about how I did it, which has appeared in November's British Railway Modelling. This is what the harbour looked like right at the very beginning. This is the harbour from the other side of the bridge, and I painted the back scene with walls because one of my grandsons said, "You can't have a harbour without walls, Grandma." I mentioned before that I like creating water on the layout, and there is a river that runs from the foot of the mountains and the lake there that runs round and into the harbour. So I just thought I'd add a few little shots of that as well. I have two villages on the layout. This one is Strines Village. Not quite finished, if I'm honest, but it does have a market in it and it does have cobbled streets. And this one is Edge Hey Village, which is finished. And this one leads across the layout up towards the castle and the church. This was a very personal video for me, really, considering I'm making it public. But I did include my family, and I wanted you to know how I did it. It was a lot of fun to compile. There was more than I'd realised. And I hope you enjoy it. There are a lot more videos to come. There's 3 that have been commissioned for the World of Railways exhibition that is going to be held this December in 2021. I'm going to be doing some rather more detailed how I did it videos as well that will sit alongside this, because they've asked me to write and produce something that allows my layout, the Edge Hey Strines Railway, to be one of their featured layouts at the exhibition. So it's all been rather good, actually, and I've enjoyed it. But I'm doing a few more videos that explain how I made things in a lot more detail than the videos that are going to appear as part of the virtual exhibition. So I hope you look out for those, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. Okay, I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.